Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you must have felt yourself in the midst of nature in the previous session. Did you all enjoy? In the previous session, we have discussed about three forms of water: the rain, the mountain stream, and the waterfall. In today's session, we will be discussing about other forms of water. But before getting into that, let me give you some questions to recall whatever we have learnt in the previous session. Are you ready? Question number 1. Who is the poet of the poem Water Dance? Who's the poet? Thomas Locker. Thomas Locker is the poet of the poem Water Dance. And the next question. Mention the words that are used to denote the movement of water in the form of waterfall. Mention the two words which are used to denote the movement of water in the form of waterfall. Are you getting answer? Yes. The answer is spiraling and plunging. Okay? And the next question. The water is called dash when it travels through the moss covered rocks. And the answer is mountain streams. Yes? Shall we get into the new session? Yeah. In the shadows of the mountain, I am still and deep. I fill and overflow. I am the lake. I wind through broad, golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. I grow ever wider, broader, and deeper. I am the river. I pass through a gateway of high stone palisades, leaving the land behind. Cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. I am the sea. Drawn upward by warm sunlight in white silver veils, I rise into the air. I disappear. I am the mist. In thousands of shapes, I reappear. High above the earth, in the blue sky, I float, I drift. I am the clouds. In the shadows of the mountain here refers to the land near the mountain. And how is the water here? I am still and deep. So the water here is still, means it has no movement. So the water doesn't flow here, it is still and deep too. I fill and overflow. So here the water is still. So it gets collected maybe during the monsoon when there is more rain. It gets collected, and when it becomes more, it overflows. And here the water is called as the lake. Are you getting the idea, children? I wind through broad golden valleys. Here the word wind is used as a verb. So we have to pronounce it as wind. But at the same time, the word wind is pronounced as wind, but only when it is used as a noun, it has to be pronounced as wind. But when it is used as a verb, it should be pronounced as wind. So here it is wind. Okay? Here the water winds through broad golden valleys. What is the meaning of wind? To move in a twisting motion. So here the water will not have a straight path. It will move in a twisting, or it may have a spiral movement, and it winds through broad golden valleys. Why it is golden valleys? Is it made of gold? No. Maybe the valley must be shining or glowing because of the reflection of sunlight. So the poet must have used the adjective golden for the valleys. Okay? And after that, I wind through broad golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. Here, streams are the same flowing water like river, but not as big as a river or as broad as a river. It will be little smaller than the river, and creeks are even smaller than the streams. So here the water, after getting joined by streams and creeks, it grows wider, broader, and deeper. And here the water is said to be the river. I passed through a gateway of high stone palisades. I passed through a gateway. What is a gateway? It means an opening that can even be closed. So the water here passes through an opening of high stone palisades. Palisades here are fence, you can say. The fence palisades can be of any material, maybe of wood or iron, but here the palisades are of high stones, leaving the land behind. Children, you must have watched in the seashore when the wave strikes the shore and returns back, it seems it leaves the land behind. So here the water mentions that passing through a gateway of high stone palisades, it leaves the land behind. And the next line, cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. The cool silver moonlight, we know very well in the night hours. The moonlight, the silver moonlight, you must be knowing the white color of the moonlight. When it reflects in the water, it gives the effect of silver. So the cool silver moonlight sparkles, shines, and dances on its waves. Why do the poet say dances? Because of the movement of the waves. So the reflection of the moonlight on the water looks sparkling, and it looks as if it is dancing because of the movement of the waves. And here the water is called as the sea. Okay? Drawn upward by warm sunlight. It means the water is taken upwards towards the sky by warm sunlight, by the heat of the sunlight. And we all know this process is called as evaporation. In white silver veils. What do you mean by veils? It's nothing but a long cloth worn by women to cover their head during their wedding ceremony, and especially in the Christian weddings. Here, the movement of water droplets in the sunlight is compared to the veil of a woman. Here, water rises towards the sky in the form of vapor and gets disappeared. And here it is called the mist. In thousands of shapes I reappear. In this stanza, the disappeared water, that is the mist, reappears on the blue sky. Here it's given, in thousands of shapes I reappear high above the earth in the blue sky. And there the water floats. It's given, I float, I drift. The water flows, and drift means, you can say, to be carried away slowly. That means it has a slow movement, almost like floating. So, I float, I drift, I am the cloud. So, here the water is said to be in the form of clouds. So, children, in the next session, we will see the rest of the forms that are mentioned in the poem. Till then, stay safe. God bless you all. Bye bye.